Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Dario Codes, and today I'm going to be explaining to you some intermediate Python. So kind of like we're going to be talking about lists and tuples and a bunch of other interesting stuff. So stick around to the end if you want to learn something new. If you haven't seen my channel before, make sure, and you're a beginner coder with Python, make sure to go to my beginning videos about the basics of Python and how to do math with Python. And yeah, and then you'll be ready for this video. If you already know a little bit of Python, then this is the perfect video to use. So stick around to the end and subscribe and like to support me. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. This is like for magician in magicians. So this command is basically saying just like make a list like for magician in magicians. So in magician, print each magician like separately. So it's gonna go Alice, David, Carolina. So magicians equal Alex, David, Carolina, and then there'll be Alice, new line, David, new line, Carolina. So let's see what happens. So as we can see, Alice, David, Carolina. Let's just make it easier and do dot title. Oh, would you look at that? Alice, David, Carolina. If you have never learned this title command, make sure to go back to my older videos because I've explained this in many of my videos. So yeah, basically that's Alex, David, Carolina. And now we are going to go to the next line of code. We all understand that it just takes each name from the list of names and puts it in a list, and that's what for magician and magicians does. It takes a magician, puts it, then another, then the other. So as we can see, this is the same thing, except we're doing a print statement here. So we're saying, like, first we're going to be like print format magician title, so like magician.title, so Alex, capital A. That was a great trick. Alice, that was a great trick. David, that was a great trick. Carolina, that was a great trick. As we can see, that's what it does. It's basically saying like, it's just saying, okay, in a new line, write it's a loop, print, that was a great trick, format, and then magician.title, Alice, David, and Carolina. Basically the same thing before, but we're doing a print statement before it. Okay, so now we're going to do basically the same thing, except after we're going to do, I can't wait to see the next one, trick. I can't wait to see our next trick, magician title. So just basically substitute the magician for Alice and then David and Carolina. So if we do some substitutions, it's going to print Alice, that was a great trick. I can't wait to see your next trick, Alice. New line. So, and then it's going to do the same thing with David and the same thing with Carolina. As we can see, Alice, that was a great trick. I can't wait to see your next trick, Alice. That's basically what happens. And \n is new line. We learned that in a bunch in our other lessons. So please watch the video, my previous video, if you want to learn that in deeper context. And yeah. Okay, so now this is just saying, okay, so in value, for value in range 1 to 5, print value. So range 1 to 5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's 1 to 5. If we did 1 to 6, it'd be 1 to 5. And it just prints every number from 1 to 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could do 1, 2, 1. 1,000, and look at this. Oh. What? Oh, it cannot be 0. I guess. That's interesting. Let's see if this works. Anyway, I don't think it can go that high. Let's just try 1 to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1 to 21 would go to 20. So yeah, that's basically just saying for value, any value in range of 1 to 20, print that. Okay, so numbers equals list. This is the same thing as before, except it's 1 to 11. So, and it has like slightly less stuff. Look at this. So basically, this is just saying make a list of numbers in range of 1 to 11 and then print those numbers. It's making a variable instead of the for in loop. So let's see, it does the same thing except in a list format, like you know how for in does a new line every time. This does it in the list format that we learned in the previous video, like 1 with the brackets and commas. And then this is defining a variable too, so numbers, we can make it Jeff and then print Jeff. Look, same thing. So whatever variable you want, it's just easier if you do something like numbers, because when it gets to be complicated code, you're gonna have to like actually know what these things mean. You'll be like, numbers, not like, oh yeah, Jeff means numbers. So yeah. And if you've been watching all my videos, you might notice that I like the word Jeff. And I do. I really do like the name Jeff. If you're named Jeff out there, shout out to all the people named Jeff out there. Okay, so even numbers equals a list arranged 2, 11, 2, and print the even numbers. 2 means even, 1 means odd, I believe. So a list of all the even numbers from 2 to 11. So I believe it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And this is going to be in the list format, just like what I'm highlighting right now, this, I believe, because it does not have the for in loop. Yep, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now let's do 1, and I think it'll be odd. Yeah, no, it'll just be, maybe 3 is odd? What is odd? I wonder what is odd. No. That's interesting. Odd is not like possible, because it can't be odd. It has to be, I don't believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it like, the even is 252, so it's an increase by 2. So like 2, 4, 6. This is an increase by 3. 2, 5, 8. I think. I don't know. Let's keep it at 2. Print even numbers. All right, we've got the even numbers. Okay, so now we're gonna do the squares of the numbers between all numbers between 1 and 10. So it's gonna look, so as we learned in our math lesson with Python, 2 stars means exponent. So we're gonna do to the power of 2. Let's just say we did it to the power of 3. It'd be everything cubed, so that'd get some high numbers. So next time someone's making you do math and you don't want to do math, just be like, squares equals brackets for value in range, and then they'll be like, if you can say the cube of the not 8 to the power of 4, I'll give you $100. Just be like, just write this code quick, and then be like, oh yeah, it's 512. Or no, it's not 512. Let's see what it is. Quick. Oh yeah, it's 4096. Say that. So yeah. Now we're going to go back to squared and see that it actually is true. Just for the, not pro mathematicians out there like me. 1, 4, 9, 16. Seems pretty true to me. All right, let's move on. And we learned in our last lesson that dot append means adding. So, like, to the end, like, we're going to add squares. We're going to add square. So square equals the value times 2. So for value in range, and then we're going to add a square. The square, so that it's squared. And yeah. Okay, so now we're going to do another thing, kind of like the lists in the last lesson, but we're going to do players equals Dario, Jeff, Max, Kai, and Owen. So these are some names, my name, Jeff, my second favorite, and then some of my friends' names. And then print players 0 to 3. So let's just say 0 to 3 is going to be Dario, Jeff, and Max. Because 0 to 3, if we did 0 to 4, it'd be Dario, Jeff, it'd be all of us. But if it was 0 to 3, it's going to be everybody but Owen, I believe. No, it's just Dario, Jeff, Max. Yeah, that's what I thought. So then 0 to 4 is going to be Dario, Jeff, Max, Kai. And 0 to 5 is going to be all of us, which you don't even need, because then you could, at that point you don't even need 0 to 5. You could just say print players. Oh shoot, I accidentally messed that up. My bad. All of us. And the same thing would happen if we do 0, 5. Yeah, Dario, Jeff. Yep, so same thing, 2 ways of doing the same thing. That is one great thing about Python. There are many ways to do the same thing. Not really many, actually 2. And it's good to learn all the ways of doing the same thing, because then you can have a deeper understanding of the language. Okay. So here we're going to do players equals Dario, Jeff, Max, Kai, and Owen. And then here are the first 3 players of my team. And then we're going to put the first 3 players of our team. And one cool thing that we learned here is you don't actually need 0 to 3 here if you're starting at 0. You can just say :3. You don't need 0 to 3. So let's just not put 0 to 3 here because it's simpler. But you could if you want, if you want to, you could put it there, but you don't have to. And then we're going to print player.title in parentheses. So that is just saying, as we learned many times, it's going to be .title. So it's Dario, Jeff, all lowercase. Now it's Dario, Jeff, Max, uppercase. And if we did, if we didn't put that there, it'd just be all of us. But since I said here, the first 3 players of my team, Dario, Jeff, and Max, those are the first 3 players of our team. And all 5 is Dario, Jeff, Max, Kai, and Owen. So yeah. And remember, anytime we put title, if we don't put these parentheses, it will not work. You want to prove? Let me prove it right now. Look at that. Doesn't work. here are the first 3 players of my teams. It just doesn't work. So just remember, put those parentheses after. Whew. All right, now this is basically doing something where I'm just gonna make a list being copied. So my foods, as we can see, my favorite foods are sushi, falafel, and ice cream. And my friend's favorite foods, it's not completely true, but let's just say my friend's favorite foods are the same as my favorite foods. So then my favorite foods are my foods, and then a new line, my favorite foods are my friend's foods, which right now it's the same, but it's really not the same list, even though it looks the exact same. So let's just prove it right here. I wrote this same code, but I said my foods.append banana, my friend's foods.append granola. So my friend also likes granola, so I'm going to add granola to my friend's favorite foods and add banana to mine. And let's see if it's the same list or if it's 2 different lists. 2 different lists, because look, my favorite foods are sushi, falafel, ice cream, and bananas, and my friend's favorite foods are sushi, falafel, ice cream, and granola. So that is saying that there's 2 different lists, but it's just like copying the same list. Yeah. So dimensions equal 250. And then we're going to print dimension 0 and dimensions 1. So this is just printing these 2 numbers. It's not completely clear to me what is the point of this. I mean, you could just kind of, it's pretty normal. You could just say print 250, but prints 250, which, all right. Yay, we printed 250. Great. So, I'm pretty sure that's a tuple, though. Yeah, that's a tuple because it's double. Print dimension 0 and print dimensions 1. And now we can do the exact same thing by doing this. 4 dimension in dimensions. Print dimension. Yay, now we don't have to write print dimension 0 and print dimension 1. We can just do 200 because 4 in is like 1 and 2. If it was like this, it'd be 1, 2. So it always makes a new line. So let's do this, see if it's the same thing. Looks to me like the same thing. 5200, 5200. All right, well, we proved our theory. Yay. Okay, so dimensions equal 200 and 250. Let's just say there's original dimensions and modified dimensions. So let's print a new line, original dimensions, and then we're gonna print the original dimensions. So, and then we're gonna make some new dimensions that equal 400 and 100, and then we're gonna new line print modified dimensions, and that's just a print statement saying print modified dimensions, and it's going to actually print the modified dimension. And then 4 dimensions in dimensions, and that's going to print 400 and 100. And we know by now what 4 dimension in dimension means. It means like let's just say 4 dimension. Let's just put it this way. If we had dimensions are like Dario equals, in parentheses, 1, comma, space 2. And then we did 4 dimension in dimension, 4 Dario in Dario, print Dario. It print 1, next line 2. So now we know what 4 dimension in dimension means if you were unclear about it. Now you should know. You have no excuses not to know. So let's run and debug. Okay, so we see original dimensions are 250 and the modified dimensions are 400 and 100. So if we look new line, it kind of actually, like, if you can understand this, it's like a little bit complicated, but we're going to print dimension and then print dimension again with the new modified dimension. So we're kind of modifying the dimensions in the middle of the line of in the middle of the, code. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything worked for me good this time. No debugging issues. Okay. Great. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, a round of applause for you. If you didn't, and you're just like skipping to the end, well then, go back, start it over, and watch the whole thing. Do you hear me? Okay, and subscribe to my channel, and if you want to learn to code, just keep on watching my videos. See you next time. Ciao.